Hey, this training video will teach you how to perform Rabona soccer ball annotation qualification. Alright, so I'm accepting the task just to show you. So basically what you're supposed to do is in this task, you're required to annotate the soccer ball that is being used by the soccer players in the video. Alright, and please take note this is a video annotation. So you're supposed to create a bounding box around the soccer ball. Okay, and of course you shouldn't delete it. You should adjust it. Okay, basically don't delete anything for video. Okay, this is when so I think we can just remove this. Okay, adjust the bounding box when necessary according to the rules. So basically, as you can see, here is the ball. What you're going to do is you're going to draw a bounding box around the ball. Make sure it's as tight as possible around the ball. Okay, you want to be making sure you are annotating the ball as tightly as possible, and as the ball progresses you're going to be adjusting the size of the bounding box and also the what do you call it, where the ball moves. Okay, so that's basically the task. And if let's say the ball becomes completely occluded where you can't really see the ball, for example, like at this stage you can still see the ball. Okay, so yeah, so at this stage you can still see the ball, so you are going to be annotating the ball still. Okay, so even here you can see the ball. Okay, even here you can see. So basically what you're going to be doing is like this. In this frame you can't see the ball, so what's going to happen is, let's say at this frame you're keeping it as in frame. So again the size you need to adjust it, and then this frame, what you're going to be doing is you're going to change it to out of frame because the ball is not visible in this frame. Okay, whenever the ball drops below 25% visibility, you are going to be changing the annotation to out of frame. So like in this frame, since it's out of frame, okay, you change it back to in frame and then you move the box. And of course you need to zoom in, guys. Make sure you don't do the annotation without not zooming in. Okay, because if you're going to see the video like this and you annotate, you're not going to get it correctly. You have to zoom in. Okay, and then this one, of course, you still can annotate, and of course you need to adjust the box. And then here you can still see the ball, even though it's more than 25%. It's more than 25%, so you can still annotate the ball. Okay, now similar goes to here. Okay, so here you see, yes, here. Okay, again you can't actually see the ball clearly, so you're gonna just annotate things like this. Okay, because the video moves at a very high speed, so so that's the reason. So basically you're gonna, because it's, and yeah, because you see, I know the ball is round, but because of the speed of the video is going, you will see something like this. So just annotate the ball as, so even here you can see here. So this is still 25%. So this, to be honest, this is actually 50% because this is the size of the ball. This is still half. 25% of this ball is basically quite a small tiny portion. Okay, basically a quarter of the ball. If you can see the quarter of the ball, you can still annotate this. Okay, and when you can't see the ball because it's blocked by this thing here, so when it's like behind here, Okay, you just change it to out of frame. Don't delete the bounding box. That's the most important thing. All right, so again, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, I think the most important rule that we need to discuss in this video is is uh, is what do you annotate? Do you annotate only the ball, or do you have to estimate the ball if it's occluded? Okay, I think that's the most serious conversation that we need to discuss about it here. So again, remember to zoom in and zoom out, and of course use the brightness control, please. Okay, it's very important to use the brightness control if you can't see the ball clearly. Okay, all right, please make sure to use the brightness control. So I think, yeah, whatever helps you to uh, see the annotation clearly, the ball clearly, use that. Okay, and of course, as I said, zoom in. Now, so you draw a bounding box, and then you annotate the bounding box. Okay, and of course 25% visibility. Okay, now if the soccer ball is partially visible, do estimate the size of the full ball. Okay, sometimes the ball may go outside of the field line. Do annotate if that happens. So basically, when the ball, okay, uh, what do you mean, goes out of the field or whatsoever, you still annotate it. Now the only question is, what happens here, like here just now? Okay, so here, that's the bounding box. Okay, okay. So let's see. So you can see the ball. Okay, okay. So follow the ball. So the issue happens when the ball is actually occluded like this. Okay, so like this. So if the ball is occluded like here, you need that, you know that this. So let me try to draw here. Let me try to draw here something. Okay, so this is the guy's head. Okay, right? This is the ball somewhere here. This is the ball. So as you can see, his head is blocking the ball. So you need to estimate, again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you need to estimate the hidden part of the ball as well when you're doing the annotation. And don't have to make it so big, just roughly estimate. Use the previous annotations to guide uh, your 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 annotation. Okay, now I think the main problem happens when the ball goes here. Okay, so here same rules apply. So I'm going to use the same box. So here what you do is you are going to resize it, and then of course you know this is the ball, the last frame. Okay, this is the ball. Okay, right, and when it goes here, you are going to just use this as your guide on the shape of the ball. Okay, and here it's gone, so you will then change it to out of frame. And same happens when it's good and when the ball goes up here. So you see here, this is technically still 25%. Okay, because the ball is actually very small. So 25% is actually quite small. So this frame you should change it to in frame, and you should. So you see, I'm not adjusting the ball size too much. Okay, I'm adjusting the width, but the size I'm keeping it the same from this frame to this frame. Okay, and then here same. I'm just going to adjust the width a bit. Okay, just adjust the width a bit. I'm still going to keep it like this. Okay, and then here this is fine, perfect shape. So I'm going to use this shape as my guidance, but I think I need to zoom in a bit more. Yes. Okay, so if this, then use this frame as a reference to see the annotation. Okay, so now see here. Okay, as tight as possible. Okay, now again, this is not the correct one because you need to zoom in and make sure you annotate it fully. Okay, so this is the estimation part. Okay, 25% is actually very small, because you have to imagine the ball size. The ball is actually quite small, so 25% of the ball size is actually quite a small portion only. Okay, now and of course the in frame, out of frame. Okay, if the soccer ball visibility is more than 25%, it remains in frame. When the soccer ball is completely occluded or less than 25%, you change it to out of frame. Okay, so do not break the track annotation, because you don't, when the ball comes back in frame, you need to change the annotation to be in frame again. Okay, you only annotate the bounding box that the ball is being used in play. Okay, which means if let's say the ball goes up and they use a different ball, okay, or if there's other balls in the sideline, don't use that ball. Okay, all right, use the ball that is in play. Okay, so see here, the ball goes behind this thing. When you can't see it, change it to out of frame. So this is the in frame, out of frame that I've just told you. Okay, so, and once you're done, make sure you save the task because it's a video. And for the qualification, you actually need to do 2 tasks. Okay, then of course you submit. So each case, when the ball is fully occluded by the scoreboard, so this is the scoreboard, you don't have to estimate the annotation, just change to out of frame. Okay, so you can't see the ball, right, because it's behind the scoreboard. Okay, so it's behind the scoreboard and you can't see it, so it's fully occluded, so select out of frame. Okay, so basically there are some new additions to the instructions that I want to talk to you about. Basically, if you can see here, okay, these are all new things that has been added to the instructions. Okay, so if the soccer ball is at the edge of the screen and it's partially visible by the frame, make sure the soccer ball is more than 25% in order for you to annotate. But if it's at the edge of the screen, you don't have to estimate the size of the ball, because technically you can't annotate beyond the borders of the frame. Okay, now if the soccer ball is partly visible, okay, but it's not on the edge of the screen, then of course you should always annotate it. Okay, uh, okay, so, and of course when you are drawing the bounding box, you estimate the size of the entire ball. Okay, now sometimes the soccer ball may go outside of the field area, you still should annotate it. Okay, so here of course you can see that the soccer ball is partially occluded. Okay, so basically in that case you need to change it to out of frame, and you need to uh, still keep it in frame but estimate. So out of frame, when do you choose out of frame? This is the new one. If the soccer ball is completely occluded, means you cannot see the bounding box at all, the ball at all within the video, then you select out of frame. I think I've told you this. Okay, so don't break the track annotation ID, which means don't simply move the bounding box. Okay, now and if the ball is out of frame, obviously if out of frame means it goes beyond of the edges of the video, you know technically to pick out of frame. Now if the soccer ball is at the edge of the screen and it's less than 25%, then you select out of frame. Okay, remember this criteria must be met. Okay, So only draw the bounding box. So only draw a bounding box around the ball that is being used in play. Select out of frame soccer balls on the sideline if it's not being used. Okay. So if the soccer ball is not being used, you select out of frame. Okay. It's on the sideline. Okay. Okay. So obviously you see the ball is fully occluded by the scoreboard. You can't see it, so you change it to out of frame in these situations. Okay. So these are all the latest updates that I want to share with you for soccer ball annotation. All right. Okay. So let me delete this first for quads. Okay. All right. So that is basically the qualification for Rabona soccer ball annotation. Thank you.